called the queen.
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Verse 2.
This shit in verse 10?
That's when it started.
Oh, you got it on? Alright, go ahead,
This is Proverbs chapter 31, verse 27. It says, she looketh well in the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread. Like in verse 26, she openeth her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Most High, she shall be praised.
Exactly. It don't matter how pretty you is, how sexy you is. You don't fear the Most High, you don't honor your husband, no man of the Lord ain't gonna want to deal with you. I wouldn't deal with no shit like that, man. What, is that it?
It says, give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Right. Alright,
Yes.
what you got?
I got Titus 2. Talking about the aged women, what they should be teaching you.
Go ahead.
God, this is Titus chapter 2, verse 3. The aged women, likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers.
Wait, where you started at?
Titus chapter 2, started at verse 3.
Start at verse 1. Just tell you what the doctrine is.
This is Titus chapter 2, verse 1. But speak thou the things which become sound doctrine.
So this is sound doctrine in the scriptures. Go ahead.
That the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity and patience. Verse 3, the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness.
Right? Now what's holy behavior? What's sound doctrine? Go ahead.
Not false accusers, not given much wine, teachers of good things. Verse 4, that they may teach the young women to be sober.
To be what?
Sober.
Go ahead.
To love their husbands.
Right?
To love their children.
Can you give me that word love? What is that again? Titus chapter 1, verse what?
Titus chapter 2. Right now I'm at verse 4.
2 and 4. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, read.
God, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. Verse 5, to be discreet.
To be what?
Discreet.
You're not running your mouth telling everything about your husband. It's agape. What is it?
Orlando.
What is it? Oh, that's love.
It's the one you want.
Alright, go ahead. Read that one more about love your husband.
This is Titus chapter 2, verse 4. That they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children.
Stop. What's that word love?
It's the G5362. It says philandros, which means fond of a man, i.e. affectionate as a wife, love their husband.
Affectionate as a wife. Affection. Go ahead.
Verse 5, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahawah be not blasphemed.
When she come up and she talking, that's blasphemy. She's blaspheming the word. Furthermore, she ain't even supposed to be out here without her man, whether it be her father, her brother, or her husband.
He was out here.
Huh?
She was out here with a dude, but she was just out of order.
When she was with a dude, well, that nigga's out of order.
Chapter 2, starting at verse 1.
That's what I'm saying about our people. The men in our nation ain't really fucking men. let your woman do whatever the hell she want to do. Just let her just run around and embarrass you and herself. Come on, man. Go ahead, bro.
Keep going on that.
That was it. That was it.
You have your ass hanging out, darling.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, start at verse 20. Giving thanks always for all things unto Yahawah and the Father in the name of our Lord, YAHAWASHI, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of Yahawah.
Right.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands as unto the Lord. Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
Wait, read that again.
Verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord.
Right, so just like a man is supposed to submit to the Most High, just like you women would submit to the Most High, you're supposed to submit to your husband as if he's the Most High. Now the Most High can tell you to do anything. Hey, Abraham was about to sacrifice his son for the Most High. That's how you supposed to listen to your husband, man. Go ahead.
For the husband is the head of the wife.
The husband is what?
The head of the wife.
It ain't no damn equals, man. The husband is the head. That's the old paths that we was talking about earlier. Go ahead.
Even as Hamashiach is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Exactly. We keep reading, right?
God, verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Hamashiach, so let the wives be unto their own husbands in everything.
Everything. In everything, man. Is it more than that? You say something about love your
The husbands is supposed to
Go
love
ahead.
their wives. God, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church,
right?
and gave himself for it,
Right?
that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Right, because guess what? The body in the church was saved by Yahawashi, just like the woman is going to be saved by her husband. She has a righteous husband that keep the laws, that's going to be her salvation. Is that it on that?
I'll read verse 27.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
I'll read 26 again. Ephesians 5 and 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word. That he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy without blemish.
Exactly. Exactly. Is that it?
That's it.
What you got? What is that? Nah, that's the first.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 10. On the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Bohuman, Bista, Harbona, Bigtha, Abagtha, Zathar, Karkas, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Osiris, the king, to bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on.
Remember it said that women is the glory of men? Go ahead.
But the queen, Vashti, refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlain. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. Then the king said to the wise men, which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment, and the next unto him was Karshina, Shethar, and Matha, Tarshish, Medes, Mersina, Memucan, the 7 princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to the law? Because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlain. And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti, the queen, hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of King Ahasuerus.
Guess what? So when she came up, like we said, it's disrespectful to her man, but it's also disrespectful to all men. Because we're the husbands of the women of the children of Israel. We're Israelites, man. That's what we're Israelites. You gotta come over here. Go ahead.
Verse 17, for this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
Right? So read that again.
For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes.
So what she did, the men said you can't have her do this, man, because all the women are going to start to follow suit. But you'll read about what he did in a second. But it goes to show, when this woman came up here, talking the way she was talking, being loud and not listening, she should be setting an example of what not to be. So any man that sees a woman that way should be like, I'm not dealing with her. I don't give a fuck how pretty she is. And once you do that, all the women will follow suit, because they'll know they'll be out here lonely as fuck. But you gotta have balls and value yourself as a man. You gotta see yourself as a king, man. You gotta see yourself as above these women out here, man. You gotta see yourself as a leader, as the head, not as the tail to these women.
If I can say this out, that's why a lot of these women out here, they want a God-fearing Christian man, because they know if they can get a man in that Christian church, because that Christian church produces effeminate men, and when they can get these God-fearing Christian men, they know they got a man that they can push over and tell what to do whenever they want.
But you notice every time a woman get a man like that, she ain't with him for long. Because to be real, it's not in their nature to be rulers and shit. So once they conquer you, they done with you. They really want that. Exactly, but this is the thing. This is why women deal with what they call bad boys. Because they like that manliness, that authority, man. That, listen, you do this. They like that shit.
I can say this, that's why they leave the God-fearing church guy and go get Tyrone with the basketball shorts and the Nike slides.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Tyrone with the Nike shorts that eat the ramen noodles all day with the slides, he ain't gonna treat her how she wanna be. He gonna treat her how she wanna be treated.
How she really wanna be treated. Exactly. Nah, because it's just that, it's that manly power, man. Of nah, do this. It's that commanding force, man, of no, do this, do that. Because and at the end of the day, the scripture said that their desire shall be towards their husband, and he shall rule over you. So it's in their spirit to want leadership, man. To want a man to tell them to do things, man. To guide them and lead them whichever way they need to go. And they can't find that in most of these men, these good guys, so they go to these niggas, and they find it, but it's just in the wrong spirit.
And they get these effeminate guys, man. They can rule over. Guess what? I bet more than 9 times out of 10, that rolls over into the bedroom, man. Okay? And you're not handling your business in that, man. Like women, they like to be dominated not only, I want to say verbally, but mentally and also physically, man. Not in a bad way, but when you get down, man, you're supposed to physically dominate a woman, man. Okay?
Well, that's what it tells you supposed to humble. You had in the marriage law. It said because you had humbled her.
Yeah.
Humble means to bow down low. You bowed her down low. You put her down low. You humbled her, man. And I know it sounds weird and shit because it's society we live in, but women like that, man.
Yeah, they do.
It's natural for them to like that. Go ahead. You got a precept for that?
Yeah, I got it. It's back in Sirach 26.
You go with what I was saying? All right, go ahead, read it.
It's Sirach chapter 26, verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro.
Right.
He that hath hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
That's right. Like, you got a wicked ass woman. It's like having a yoke on your neck, a heavy ass yoke, and you being unbalanced. You going, you know what I mean? Like, it's not good, man. Go ahead.
A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger.
Right.
And she will not cover her own shame.
Right. That's why your women shouldn't be getting drunk all the time. It said in Titus that they should be sober. Go ahead.
Verse 9. A whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
Right.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her straightly, lest she be abused herself through overmuch liberty.
Keep her ass in the house, man.
Good.
Go ahead.
Watch over an impudent eye and marvel if she trespass against thee.
An undisciplined eye. She looking at everybody that passed by.
Verse 12.
She looking at every man. Go ahead.
Verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain and drink of every water near her.
Right? Then she gonna fuck every nigga, man. Every nigga that she could get close to, she gonna give him that monkey, man.
By every hedge,
she gonna drink his water, man.
By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow.
You know what the quiver is? It's symbolic for a damn couple. As Plies said, a pussy. The arrows is the rods. And that's what happens when you have an undisciplined daughter and you just let her, you give her a lot of liberty, man. You just let her do what she want to do.
Scriptures get graphic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 13. The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
Yeah, if you have a graceful wife, a wife that that's submissive to you and shit, asks you to do certain things, she asks you, not just tell your ass. She listen to whatever you tell her to do. That shit gonna delight your face. When you see it, you gonna smile. You gonna light up, man. You gonna smile, man. It also says that if y'all know it's in Iraq, it says, "He that getteth the wife getteth the possession, and help me like unto himself, and a pillar of rest," man. That's what a woman is supposed to be, man. Go ahead.
The grace of a wife delighteth her husband.
Right.
And her discretion will fatten his bones.
Her discretion, man. Well, discretion is your decision making, man. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman.
A what?
A silent and loving woman.
Notice the scripture says silent, man. A woman should come up here with a dude and she shouldn't say nothing, man. That's a part of being shamefast, silent, and meek, man. Her man should do all the talking. If she got questions, she should ask him, because guess what? He's like the most high to her, man. That's how women supposed to be, man. Go ahead.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
That's a gift. So if you get a woman like that, you gotta say, call Allah YAHAWASHI, man. Go ahead.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Read that again.
A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord. And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Well instructed. Now how? Oh shit, boy, so much shit come to my head. When you read the book of Susanna, right? One of y'all can get that real quick. Y'all, give me the book of Susanna real quick if you can. When you read the book of Susanna, right? Now this is where the place where men come in at. The father is supposed to teach the daughters the laws, man, and the customs of our people. So a woman should already know this by the time she's of marriageable age, because her father should have taught it to her. And when you read the book of Susanna, it says that her father and her mother taught her the laws. So she knew the laws. Keep going on.
Verse 15, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. Verse 16, as the sun when it ariseth in the high heaven, so is the beauty of a good wife in the ordering of her house.
Right. The ordering of her house will tell you they should be keeping at home. Ordering the house what? Meaning they taking care of the house, man. All right? I need that Esther real, not Esther, I need that Susanna. It's in apocrypha. Might be before Tobit, man. Nope, it's not before Tobit.
After Tobit?
Yeah, after Tobit.
After the Holy Children.
Huh?
Page 109, after the Holy Children.
But what do y'all
Bell and the Dragon. What is that? I ain't got that. Back, you know where Vagabond is at? Yeah, right, kind of like.
Just before Wisdom of Solomon?
History of Susanna.
What book is it before?
It's before Bell and the Dragon, the history of the destruction of
That's why I started.
That's a Baruch.
Alright, Bell and the Dragon. I got you. What verse you want?
I gotta get to it because I gotta tell you which verse. It talks about, it's in the beginning.
Right before Maccabees.
It talks about, it's in the beginning, man. It talks about her upbringing.
It's right before Maccabees. You got it.
All right, wait, oh, you got it? All right, go ahead.
I want to start at verse 1?
Yeah.
The history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 1. There dwelt a man in Babylon called Joachim, and he took a wife whose name was Susanna, the daughter of Chelseas, a very fair woman, and one that feared the Lord. Her parents also were righteous, and taught their daughter according to the law of Moses. Now Joachim was a great rich man and had a fair garden joining unto his house.
That's it. So basically, as going into the men, as a father, you're supposed to teach your daughter the law, statutes, and commandments, all right? And the ways of our forefathers, the old paths, and their foremothers, so that they will already know these things, or how they're supposed to conduct themselves in the midst of men and in the midst of women, and just as an Israelite woman. Go back to Esther. Now, the other part of being a man is when a woman is totally out of control, you don't deal with that woman, man. And then these women wouldn't be acting like this. Go ahead.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 17. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes, when it shall be reported. The king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen, thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she.
Exactly. So when women get to doing that shit right there, acting stupid, as a nation, we should not deal with them women. And then you know what'll happen? Them women will stop acting like that. Because they'll know, shit, if I don't act right, I ain't gonna get no husband. I'm gonna be out in this world by myself. Because the one thing women don't want, they don't want to be by themselves, man.
I can say this, most women, man, their whole life is really striving on to find a husband and have kids, man. Okay? That's like a woman, and to get married, man. That's like a woman's mission, man, throughout their whole life. That's all you hear most women. Now, some of them just want to be hoes, you know what I'm saying? But most women, they want to get married, have kids, and raise a family, man. Okay? That's what they looking for their whole time, man. That's the whole point of the life of a woman in America, man. Okay? A period, man. So like he said, if brothers stop dealing with bitches, man, then they would straighten up, man. But we know that shit ain't gonna happen on this side right now. But that's what would happen. You know what I'm saying?
That shows you, you know, not to sound like these fucking Kemet niggas and try to blame everything on the man, but that shows you, as a nation, you got to get in order, man. The men, you got to start setting the damn standards, man. These are piece of shit women. Stop dealing with them, man. Give me the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 1.
Yeah, and then when they get married, man, most of the motherfuckers end up getting divorced, putting the dude on child support and all that shit, man. But because it's like after they fulfill that goal, man, they don't give two shits about it. They rather just go on to the next marriage, man.
And they get fat.
Yeah, and they get fat.
And then you can still be dealing with them when they fat.
Still talking about you love them and shit.
Oh, you so beautiful. Oh, you thick, baby. You ain't that bitch fat, man.
Yeah. That's another part of effeminate shit, man. Let your woman just get out of shape and do what the fuck she wanna do, man. Okay?
Supposed to let them get like that.
Nah,
I always wondered why too. Like, why these women want that marriage certificate? Like I tell my woman all the time, like we don't need to get legally married, nor do I need permission from the government to say that you're my wife. But she wants that paperwork, man, and it's really just to be ahead of, to control, man.
But you know what it really goes back to though? What it really is, they want something to signify that they have a husband.
Where y'all? And Yahweh is God. How about that?
Y'all got some good
All
music.
praises to Yahweh is God. All praises to
Yahweh. Black people. Oh, why can't y'all?
Genesis 3:16. We didn't do nothing. Genesis 3:16 again.
How many fingers I gotta get?
Damn, I lost my job.
And that's the same thing to a black man?
What you talking about? Certificate.
You were saying that they need that to signify that they have a husband.
Get Genesis 3:16.
That really goes to show that they don't respect their man anyway, because his word should be enough.
Yeah, it should be, but here in America, man, they want that signified paperwork,
right?
And they want to be able to say that they got your they got your last name, man. That's another thing, man. They want to change their name. They want to do all that.
That's what I'm saying. If men set the standard and say, well, we're not doing that shit,
right?
Then they won't. It's all really what it comes down. Yeah, it's that too. But really, what it comes down to is they want to be attached to you, man. They want your name. They want to have something to show the public that I'm not a single mother or shit like that. They want something to say that I'm a married woman.
Yeah, when they go somewhere and fill out this paperwork and do this shit and do all kinds of shit, they want to say marry on the paper. They want to do that.
And what they really trying to do too, they trying to take you off the market too. So these other women can't get to you. That's also what it is too. They stake that claim on it. This Genesis chapter 3 verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
That's it right there. The desire shall be to the husband.
And he shall rule over thee.
So this is the book of Esdras, chapter 1. I'm sorry, the book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 21. And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan, for he sent letters into all the king's provinces, and to every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house.
Oh shit. You gotta read Genesis 3:16 again now. Read that one more time.
This is Genesis chapter 3 verse...
Wait. Let me read that again.
The book of Esther, chapter 1, verse 22. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people.
Go ahead, read out.
Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
Right. Give me I said Lamentations 4:1.
Christian women hate them scriptures too.
Yeah.
Still going into how these women are, man. Okay. Jumping from man to man, having kids with this man and this man. There's a quick scripture on that. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 23, verse 22. Thus shall it go also with the wife. Thus shall it go also with the wife that leaveth her husband and bringeth in heir by another. For first, she hath disobeyed the law of the Most High, and secondly, she had trespassed against her own husband. And thirdly, she had played the whore in adultery and bought children by another man.
Exactly. That's a lot of these women today, man. Yeah. And then after they do that, this is shit I don't get about society today. Is after they do that, they say that, oh, this is a package deal, and you should accept me and my kids, even though I ain't got shit to bring to the table. I ain't got no job. I ain't gonna do nothing for you because you pure headache in hell. You gotta take care of me and my kids from another man. But the thing about it is, you men allow that shit. You say okay, and then when another man tells you I don't deal with women that got kids, you say why not? When you raised by a single mother, who gives a fuck, man? But that's how this is the country that we live in, man. Babylon the Great, man. This country is pure wicked. But yeah, was that it on that?
If I can say this opportunity. If you ever watched any like nature shows or anything about like the lions in Africa,
oh yeah,
these lionesses, which is a female lion, when they have their little cubs walking with them, and you know what I'm saying, they gotta keep their kids safe because these other male lions will come, take them, mate with them, and then get rid of the cubs that they already had. So the point I'm trying to make is they gotta hide their children from these other males because they already know the male lion ain't having that. He's gonna stake his claim with that woman, that female lion, and get rid of her kids. She can't tell him, well, if you gonna get with me, you gotta also accept my cubs. Those cups are food, man. Food.
Yeah, Lamentations 4:1. If that was it on that. Lamentations 4:1. Lamentations 4:1. All the way to 3.
This is Lamentations. Oh, you got it? Yeah, I got it.
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 1.
A man shall be as the gold. Man shall become as gold. Go ahead, bro.
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 1. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter.
Right. The sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, man, meaning that we're the precious, man. We're supposed to be of a high estate, man. Go ahead, keep reading now.
Lamentations chapter 4 verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast, they give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness.
Fucking walkway with your dumbass shit.
Go ahead, now keep reading.
You stole our country.
Keep reading. Keep reading, now. There go that shit again and now controlling their women, man. His woman about to, now we was that type of group, his woman about to get him stomped out. Keep going, I'll keep reading.
Verse 4, the tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets.
Where you at?
Verse 5.
Desolate. Go ahead,
It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Exactly. Give me also 7 women shall take hold of one man and sing. Yeah, exactly. The Most High, see, but the thing about it is, the Most High is about to reverse all of this shit, man.
Old Testament, New Testament.
All right?
The Old Testament, the whole Bible. Like I said, the old Bible is more likely to what we live by today. That old Testament shit is not what's up. The New Testament, the Old Testament is like.
What was the Old Testament all about?
Look, I ain't gonna fuck you up, but the Old Testament is more likely to talk to the speaker.
What you saying now?
I said the Old Testament is more closely to what we live by.
The Old Testament is what we should live by?
No, I didn't say you should live by it. The Old Testament is more close to what we live by. You know what I'm saying? The Old Testament, you know what I'm saying, got shit by what you believe by. The New Testament, you know what I'm saying, that's some shit like, that shit ain't true.
The New Testament not true?
You fucking right.
Why not?
Because it ain't, bro.
Okay, why not?
It's not.
If you tell me something is not true, you gotta give me a reason why it's not true.
I believe in the Bible.
You don't believe in the Bible?
Nah, hell, I believe there's a higher God, but, you know what I'm saying, it's a higher God. We on earth to live by what we live by. We on hell right now. You know what I'm saying?
Wait.
You ever watch Tupac?
Yeah.
You sure? What did Tupac say?
Tupac not my God though.
He's not my God either.
I don't really know.
Truth on anybody ever heard. And he died at 24, 25.
So what barometer do you use to verify the truth?
Look, Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can live by any corner. You know what I'm saying? In the city of New York, it's churches with, you know what I'm saying, gold ceilings. Why do you need that shit to listen to what God says?
Well, who says that that's the truth? The churches?
Nigga, you live in the, how old are you?
What?
How old are you?
Why does that matter?
How old are you?
I'm in my 30s.
You in your 30s? Okay. Tupac died when he was 25. 25. If you think about how old Tupac is, you were under, then you like 40. You know what I'm saying? Tupac said, you know what I'm saying? We listen to big churches. You in the black community? You deep in the black community?
Nah, I'm not, man.
All right, in the black community, you got the biggest churches on the corner. You know what I'm saying? With gold ceilings, with gods, all that shit.
This is my question to you. What does this have to do with them churches?
Who?
What does this have to do with them churches you talking about in the black community?
You read New Testament or Old Testament?
I read both.
Okay, in the New Testament, they got stories about people that carry sheep. You know what I'm saying? 1,000 miles, 100 miles. Quote me, don't quote me, I ain't 100% on this. But look, they got people in the Old Testament that they carry sheep 100 miles. Okay.
How do you know? Okay,
hold on, wait. Okay. They got white men develop a story about a man who had 99 cattle. And he was on.
I don't even know what story you're talking about.
I'm gonna tell you what story you're talking about. Listen to you, read your Bible.
That's not even a story though, man.
That's a story. Hold on, hear me out. Okay.
But that's not a story.
Listen.
That's an allegory. It's not a story. It's an allegory. He's telling you that what you're talking about. All it's saying is that one sheep that was lost, when you bring it back and it's found, everybody rejoices.
Everybody rejoices.
It's not a true story.
But at the same time, you're thinking back in your mind, right? Where did they get that story from?
Where they got it from?
The Africans out the motherfucking pyramids, my nigga.
Okay, where's that story in the pyramids?
On the pyramids.
Where?
You go to there and you find the 3 pyramids, you found which one it is. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, you read that they found 99 sheep, and it's a 99 sheep. And
but the Egyptians didn't even like sheep, man.
Huh?
The Egyptians didn't like sheep. They had a byword for sheep herders.
They switched the story and they made it to where a white man lives. You know the story of King James version of the Bible, which every black man reads.
I got a question for you. You believe in the Bible?
Nope.
What's the cross represented around your neck?
Huh? The uncle? The uncle?
Yeah, what does that represent?
That's what you mean?
What does it represent?
You know what I'm saying? Mind, body, and soul. You know what I'm saying? It's here, and it's a mother who gives birth to the body. That's what this top is.
I like this guy.
You know what I'm saying? On everything. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And the uncle was way before.
Feminism again, though.
You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't
that's women worship.
Nah, that ain't women worship.
Is the black woman God?
It was gonna go. That's the spirit
Is the black woman God?
I do not believe. I believe. You know,
let me ask you something, man.
There is a God.
Is the black woman God, though?
There is a God. It's the reason why we wake up every day.
Is the black woman God? That's my question.
Black woman God?
Is the black woman God?
No.
That's what they believe in Egypt.
I'm a black man from Orange, Texas.
But that's what they believe in Egypt.
Look, let me tell you. What's up? Nah, I ain't from H-Town, but I'm from that area. You know what I'm saying? I'm influenced by the Orange. You know what I'm saying?
That's what they believe in Egypt.
With the drink and everything.
But that's what they believe in Egypt.
They do.
They believe that women are God.
Okay, think about it into the history of the man. Okay, what was the highest power of man that you know of us today? You miss nothing in your breath. What's the highest power of man you ever know today? The Romans, right? Where did the Romans get their learning from? The Moors. You know about Moors?
The Romans got their learning from the
No,
Egyptians.
the Romans got their learning from Moors.
The Moors wasn't around until after Egypt.
The Moors was in Egypt teaching the white man. The white man, let me tell you.
There were no white people though.
Who? There wasn't a white man?
There was white men in Egypt.
There was
white men.
The Greeks conquered Egypt. Alexander the Great conquered Egypt.
Think about it. The Moors.
He's talking about a whole time period after Egypt.
He's talking about a different time period.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the same.
He's talking about
a black man just like me.
He's talking about the Moors. The Moors were after ancient Egypt.
I don't know, but I
This was about
the Moors,
1500s or something like 1200s, something like that.
I'm from Texas, but the Moors is from fucking
Moors came from all over Africa. They came from North Africa. They also came.
You say all over Africa, where the fuck they come from? The continent of Africa.
But they come from Israel as well.
They did.
There were Jews that were a part of the Moors.
Where's Israel?
Israel is in what they call the Middle East today.
The Middle Eastern, but at the time,
It's not Africa. That was the land of Ham.
Bro, you
can't look at world views from today's point of view. When they had a total point of view in the ancient day, they had different point of view.
I'm tell you what I believe.
Israel was a land, Assyria was a land, Babylon was a land. Africa had certain lands in it like Egypt and Ethiopia, which two different lands. They didn't look at it as a continent.
Look, I'm gonna tell you what I believe in. I believe there's a God. There's a God over everything, right? And we only believe in Christ because of slavery. You know what I'm saying? The people from Africa came to America. You ever seen 12 years of slavery?
Yeah, but where you get your facts from, man?
Man, this ain't no facts, bro. Look.
I know that's not facts.
But look, check it out. You ever seen 12 years of slavery?
I've seen it, but where you get your...
It's more than
that's
facts.
logic? Okay, well, logic should tell you that if people wrote about who you call Jesus Christ, he had to live.
Why?
If people wrote about who they call Jesus Christ, he had to live. Do you believe in Socrates? Do you believe in Plato?
I think of Socrates. I believe in Socrates. People like Aristotle.
Nobody
they
ever.
Are all prophets of the Lord.
Socrates.
Yep.
Socrates. You can't even verify that Socrates existed.
They are all.
There's less.
You've been to church and
there's less documents about Socrates than it is about Jesus Christ.
You right. Okay,
but you believe in him.
No, I don't.
What you don't know?
I'm just for guilt. No, but actually, I want to talk to you guys about.
I don't believe in Christ. I'm gonna tell y'all. Why? I believe Jesus Christ was the man who believed Jesus Christ was the
I was supposed to go to Miami last night. My truck broke down, right? And I broke down on the way from Orlando. Guess what?
Not even done on the camera.
I believe it. Because Jesus Christ.
We can wrap it up, man.
Right, look, hold on. I got one more question. I gotta tell you about this. Okay.
I got one more question for you.
Wait. Hold on, I gotta tell you something. Okay.
I got one more question for you, man.
Okay, I'm
you believe in Menes? You believe in the first king of Egypt, Menes?
Look, I believe there is a God, and I believe. Hold on, wait. I don't know
the first king of Egypt, Menes. Do you believe in him?
Look, I believe. Look. Hold on.
The first king of Egypt.
Look.
That's all I'm asking. The first king of Egypt.
I'm not gonna answer your question because I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, hold on, wait. Listen to me, man.
I ain't listening no more, man.
Listen to me.
Because all you want to do is
talk. You can hear what I'm saying?
I'm not listening.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Look, I believe there's a higher power. You know what I'm saying? And you only believe in what you believe in.
I'm not listening, man.
Slave.
Hey, I'm an old soul. I just hope you guys.
We're gonna wrap it up, man.
I'm from North Texas.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Dumbass white boy.
That we say all praise YAHAWASHI outside.
Hold on.
Double honest to our elders are GREATMILLSTONE. This is shit we have to deal with Jake, man.
Hold on,
it's getting around that time.
Look, we're traveling on the highway and our car broke down.
This is shit y'all Kim and niggas created, man.
We're traveling on the car. Look.
Bunch of dudes that don't know facts, man.
Every bitch was beat down, right?
That's Shalom, man.
And we was going down the highway.